check. Is my mic on? What up, Dow? Y'all already know what it is. It's the Who-Bangin Sports Lounge live, baby. We live right now, okay? And I just want to give it up to all my Who Bangers out there. All y'all come see us, y'all my Who Bangers, all my Who Bangers out there. Give it up for y'all today. It's Friday. You know what I'm saying? Sipping on a little sip of lean and enjoying the little show. We got quite a few guests coming up in a little while. I'm pretty sure they'll be in here shortly. But for now, y'all got me. You know what I'm saying? So today's show, we're going to talk a little bit about the NFL Pro Bowl, the roster for the Pro Bowl, something that a lot of cappers, they're not too hot about Pro Bowl games and all that good stuff, All-Star weekends. They're not hot on that kind of stuff. That stuff's kind of crazy. If you want to have a little fun, most people do bet the over on those type of games because that's what brings excitement. So that's what people want to see. So not a lot of people going to be betting on these, but just interesting end of the year, kind of go over some of the players that was in the Pro Bowl and, maybe a few players that should be in the Pro Bowl and some that shouldn't be in the Pro Bowl. But that's definitely coming up very soon. Once we get some of my guys in here, you know what I'm saying? I'm here on time as usual, 6 o'clock. We live right now. We live on the 11 Sports Next for the fans on Twitch. We're right here on YouTube, Facebook, also on Twitter. Couple of our guys' Twitter accounts. So I don't know where you guys are tuning in. We got quite a few people in here right now, but welcome y'all to the Who-Bangin Sports Lounge Live, which goes down every Friday at 6 p.m. on the West, 9 p.m. on the East, and this is how we get down. Now, we're bringing in one of our in-house guys today, Mr. Noli Knows, who makes unders great again. We're going to talk a little MLB as well because there's a lot of little chatter going on in the MLB. We got a few new coaching changes and managers, all that kind of stuff going on. A lot of the cheating issue with the Houston Astros and maybe even the Boston Red Sox. But we got to go through some of that stuff with our guy Noli Knows. Dom Rici, if you're out there, if you could pull up for some MLB, give them a slight taste of what's going to go down baseball season on Light It Up. But let me go ahead with no further ado and bring my guy Noli Knows in. Noli!
What up, DJ? How's it going, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I like the hat. I like the shirt. I like the background. Man, you just impeccable today, man. You
We
feeling good?
we
Oh, you got a
vibing.
couple
We
little
vibing.
moves too? You got a
I
couple little
can't show them too
moves?
much. Can't show them too much. Gotta hold those. Gotta hold those for the dance floor.
There
But
you
yeah,
go.
man, we feeling all right. Drinking our sorrows. Having a rough day. Had to go get a
Uh-oh.
little michelada. So going
Oh man.
trying to regroup for tomorrow.
Did you what happened in the Buffalo game? I seen it was up a little bit. It was kind of close. Did they
Yeah,
cover?
no, they definitely did not cover. I think they had like at least 17 turnovers in the first half, or
Oh
I think a
wow.
few minutes into the second half. They're already at 17. They're playing a real sloppy ball. But a lot of I can't take away. I really can't take away what they did at Kansas State. The matchups that they were doing. They take one guy out and they're quick to bring in their guy to match up properly. Hats off to Kansas State. They pulled it off and their defense was the better defense. The play was the under, and I slept on it, man. It is what it is.
That's what's up, man. Just another one to go under the rug, but it's all about what's in the big house, and we know you got a big house over there when it comes to sports betting, anyway. So it's no big deal. We'll sweep that under the rug. Got plenty more games, but that Friday card in college basketball to me has always been kind of janky. I mean, you get a lot of those Ivy League schools on Friday. You get like one or two good matchups, which we got Marquette and Butler coming up soon, right? Or it's already started?
No, that'll be going off right now, I believe. They're just
Yeah, I
about to
think
tip off.
I didn't play it today. I actually had put up a post yesterday on Twitter of a couple plays, and I don't think it came out. So today I wasn't really trying to play Friday. I do like Marquette in this one, but didn't have enough time to really hammer it, so I just took a step back. But I took an NBA play this morning after being on betting in the bag and the breakdown that they had on that early game right there with Atlanta. I had to
Yes.
jump on that one. Plus, I think I got 14 points in that one, and cashed that one early. So I just chilled. I'm not gonna even put nothing in on the Marquette game. I think I got a lot of basketball watching to do before I could start raising my hand to answer questions and do some stuff in basketball. But you, on the other hand, you waist deep in this college basketball. It's been going on for a long time for you. I'm pretty sure you got a lot of things figured out. Some go-to teams, some bet against teams. Gonna let the people know a couple of your little herbs and spices that you gathered in this college basketball so far.
Well, right off the bat, this Marquette Butler game is a little tricky, being that you got three straight games with Marquette winning and covering, and on the opposite side, you got Butler losing and losing against the spread as well. The defense hasn't been as great as what they were earlier in the season, and this is a tough game to predict. Butler seems to be the side, but the way that they're reeling right now, I wouldn't pull that trigger. But as far as some of the other games, I mean, I just try to pick spots. I look at the pace. Of course, we're always looking at totals, and the main thing here is the adjustments that the line makers are making, and
Mhm.
that's what I've been struggling with a little bit here and there. And
Now, as a matter of fact, Noli, I mentioned to you before earlier today, but I'm also going through my college basketball checklist right now, and I was kind of putting down a lot of areas that I should involve in my checklist, like things that we definitely need to look at before we start laying money on the games. If we don't already know we going into it blind, when we start to break it down. Now, obviously, everybody's going to look for points for, points against, rebounds, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage. But like you mentioned, pace. Now, not all websites will give you the exact pace at in a number range. Sometimes you got to kind of create the pace according to the attempts, right? So I think it's kind of important also to add the attempts in my checklist as well. And then I also have offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding, turnovers, and at the beginning of it all, I have the location, the coach, and the two impact players on each team. Now, is there anything else you think I'm missing on my checklist for college basketball?
it sounds about right. I'd have to go over it in detail a little more. Maybe I missed some of the stuff, but like you said, the attempts that they put up is a great indicator of pace. If they're not shooting a lot of threes, then we're not going to expect them to be a high scoring team. But if they're pushing a high pace, if they've got a field goal attempt in the 60 or above range, then they're pushing a pretty heavier pace. But you see a team push getting 52, 54 field goal attempts a game, that's a great indicator that obviously they're not trying to score fast. Um, I, One of the main things is adjustments from game to game. That's one of the big factors. Today, I missed out on a Maris game that I was reading articles all week on Sienna's coach, and a big thing he's talking about is calling out his guys to be a little bit more effective on defense, to take pride in their defense. He said if somebody scores, they score on all of us, and that's how we should look at it. So
I
that
like that.
to me, that was a great indicator they're going to play some defense today. So the team total Marist under should have been my play, and I didn't even take anything. So that was I don't know why I was so hesitant, but I think what you said earlier, the Fridays have always been a little bit tricky. I tread a lot lighter on Fridays, one or two plays at most, and they proved to be tricky. Last Friday was great. This Friday was horrible.
Now, my checklist that I'm doing, that won't really help with actual games that you decide to get involved in, and what games you decide to get involved in, just like you mentioned, are very important. That's how you get to the window. So, how would you consider? I wouldn't say it's everybody's going to have their own way of what games they're going to get involved in. Just off top, it might be a team you've been following. It might be a particular stat, or whatever. But how do you go about it? Because I know some guys that kind of look at line movement, and this year I've been dibbling, dabbling. I've been trying different methods, like teams that are favored by X amount of points, or teams that are getting so many points at home. And I've been going through a bunch of little ones. Some of them hit and miss. Some of them worked. Some of them was just a total disaster. But when you go in, I know you follow particular teams for sure, but outside those particular teams, what attracts you to even opening up the book to cap in a college basketball game?
Well, a big thing is how a team is going to match up versus another team. Just because they're able to score a lot of points versus this team doesn't mean you're going to against another team. So Syracuse, for example, Syracuse, we all know, runs a zone defense. So if a team is struggling from a 3-point land, then I'm going to look for an under in that game, because in a zone they're going to prevent the penetration to the basket. So those are some indicators right there. And I just try to look for the what we were talking about before, the pace of which they play at, the perimeter defense, their rebounding, and then I'm going to look at the number, because ultimately we can break these numbers down on a team all we want, but at the end of the day, our battle is not with these teams. Our battle is with the line maker. So if that line maker has adjusted, we need to adjust with him, or we need to react, or if they went too high, we need to go under. And it's it's difficult to understand sometimes, because it's sometimes if they're giving 130s, 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 and all of a sudden you see a 140, so right away you want to try to take an under, but sometimes they're telling you this is a different matchup, so you have to be careful. But I always try to set a line. I always try to come up with my own the night before, and I don't try to allow line movement to affect me, because the way I feel is like I've gotten off of games and then that I would have won, and then I stay on them and I would have lost. So I just try to stick to one side. So I'm just going to take my plays no matter what. And we got to be confident in what we do and just stick to that.
I like that. I like that. And Big Ragu also mentions depth, and I forgot that I also added depth to my checklist as well, because depth is. And I even played a game the other day. I forget which one it was, but depth was the reason that I played the particular side, because on that side, this particular team has showed that they use almost all of their bench, opposed to another team that had like three or four guys who weren't even being used in the last game. So I looked at the depth in that game. It was a close line. I went with the team with the more depth, and the team with the more depth won. So I feel you on that one, Big Ragu. Depth is definitely important. And he also says point guard play. Now, what do you feel about individual position matchups?
It's a different strategy, I think, for different teams. It's just like in the NBA. Some teams go big. Some teams you're going to go with your point guards and shooting guards to move around. Point guard is definitely a huge position in college basketball. I think even bigger than in the NBA. Especially in the NBA, you got power forwards taking the ball up and dishing it out. But I think that's a great point. The team that has a great point guard is valued very highly. You look at Michigan State. They got one of the best point guards in the nation, and they're ranked number one coming off the bat. So I think that's
Yeah.
definitely a key thing. That's taking over the offense is a big factor with these kids, to know what you're doing with the offense. So yeah, I like that.
Now, let me give a quick shout out to our folks in the chat, man. We got Virgo in the house, Unbelievable in the house, Christian Moore, and we got one of these names. These guys must be from far out with a name like Diataz Langit out of Langit, whatever that means. But shout out to you for coming up and hanging out with me and Noli Knows right now. Also, we had some people just pulled up in the chat, Gerald Jones and our guy Greg plus EV. Greg, I'm gonna send you the link, man. If you're around chilling, hop in with us, have some fun, man. We just chilling. It's Friday. We really gonna get into some MLB and some of the stuff coming up with Noli Knows, but right now we had to address this college basketball a little bit before we go into that. We'll probably go over some NFL or whatever you want to talk. I see. I see you a big time on the Chiefs right here, man. I love it, man. But we 4-9 all the time over here. So win, lose, or draw, it's still gonna be 49ers on my ticket. I,
Yeah, I think.
I done the fan bet a lot. Nobody knows it well. I done the fan bet a lot, but no way do I do a fan. No way am I trying to protect the fear of my favorite teams and my emotions coming out in a game like this. I'm one of those people that say, "Hey, if your team make it, even if they's a 10-point underdog, I'm still taking my team."
Yeah, man, it's tough in this situation, man. I mean, the biggest stage of football, and it's gonna be a great matchup, man. I can't wait to that Super Bowl, man. We're counting down. Gonna have a big party with the family. Yeah, man, I can't wait.
Oh man, start stocking up your private reserve bottles and stuff now, so y'all can really, it's Niner time. You got to make those extra efforts, Noli. You know what I'm saying?
No
You
doubt.
got to you got to get. You can't just have buffalo wings. You got to have the lemon pepper and the garlic parmesan next to them because it's Niner time, man. You
That's
already
right.
know how we do it.
That's right. That's right.
But that's what's up, man. But we also gonna talk about the Pro Bowl briefly because that is the title of our show tonight. Always got to touch in on the title. Now, many cappers definitely do not bet All Star games, Pro Bowls, such and such. But we just gonna go lightweight through it real quick. I'm probably just gonna run down it, and if y'all have anything in the chat to say who don't belong, when I say their name, if they belong, leave it alone. But you don't think they belong, then let us know in the chat how you feel about them. Now we're gonna start on the AFC side of things at the wide receiver position. First off, DeAndre Hopkins, Houston Texans. Of course, he earned all of that. Keenan Allen of the Chargers, he pretty much earned it, but I don't know.
Think he
I
earned it in the
don't
first
know.
5 weeks only.
I
I
don't know.
mean, yeah, I
And
think
then
that one's iffy.
we got Jarvis Landry, Cleveland Browns. I seen it. He's a pretty good playmaker and stuff. I think he earned it to be on a team like the Browns and to stick around, be the guy. I'll say he earned it a little bit. And then we got Tyreek Hill, who's not going to be playing in this because he's in the Super Bowl. And we got Cortland Sutton of the Denver Broncos. Now Sutton was, in the offense that don't really pass a lot like that. I don't know how. I guess you would say he's a stand-up guy for them. I don't know about Sutton, but Sutton's a good receiver. I like him.
I thought that was a good pick. His second year receiver, he turned out to be pretty good. I think he's out of SMU.
Yeah, and he's actually replacing Hopkins, who's injured. And then we have DJ Chark from the Jacksonville Jaguar, who's going to be replacing Tariq Hill, who's going in the Super Bowl. I'm not sure about DJ Chark. I ain't going to even front. But if y'all know anything about him, play him or slay him. We're gonna do it like the old school radio. Play it or slay it. You know what I'm saying? Play it or slay it, DJ Chark. So let's go over to the offensive line. Now I already know most of y'all won't know who these offensive linemen is, but it's okay. We're gonna run through them. Ron Stanley, Baltimore Ravens. Lermy Tunsil, Houston Texans. Trent Brown from Oakland. I don't think no Oakland Raiders should have made it, but that's just the hate in me from the Niners. But Trent Brown from the Raiders, Orlando Brown from the Ravens, who's also replacing uh, Trent Brown as he should be injured from the Oakland. And then at guard, we got Marshall Yanda from the Ravens. We got Quentin Nelson from the Colts. David DeCastro from the Steelers, Joel Badino from Cleveland Brown, who's replacing Castro from the Steelers due to injury. Center, we got Maurice Pouncey. Now, he's a pretty known center right there from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rodney Hudson from the Raiders. Two Raiders got in there on the line. Where was this Raider line during the season? Then we got Ryan Kelly from the Colts, who's replacing Pouncey due to injury. Now, tight end. Now, this is a key position. Tight end, Travis Kelsey, of course, from the Chiefs, but he's going to be in the Super Bowl. But we got Mark Andrews of the Baltimore Ravens, who's Jack Doyle of the Colts, who's replacing Kelsey. He's pretty good as well. But that's kind of I think that's kind of a plain sandwich at tight end without Kelsey.
Very.
It got to be some better tight ends in the AFC than Mark Andrews.
Well, I mean,
And
Andrews was just, I mean, his numbers look good, but just the way that the usage of him, he was one of like their main receivers because of the inability of Lamar Jackson to throw the ball.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, makes sense. Now at the quarterback, we get Lamar Jackson from the Ravens, Patrick Mahomes, but he'll be in the Super Bowl. Deshaun Watson, we get Ryan Tannehill, who's going to replace Mahomes. Now, at the quarterback position in the AFC, they look good.
Yeah,
I
they're
mean, that's
solid.
if that was my Madden lineup for quarterback. Oh man, we gonna get a little use of all of those.
Wait, you be
Now,
rotating your quarterbacks on Madden or what?
I mean, I ain't played Madden in years, but if I was playing with my made team, remember back in the day on the old PlayStation 1 when you could make your own little
Yeah.
team? Oh yeah, I'm not gonna get three good anything and not use them all. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Is Ryan Tannehill that good? Or
He
did he just
went
have a good season?
he went on a nice run. His QBR looked pretty good, but it's pretty obvious who was in control of that team, and that was the running game. Without Henry, Tannehill wouldn't have been as successful, not nearly as successful.
Yeah, I don't know about Tannehill. I think don't load up on that for next year. Uh, Keep it clean. Now at running back, we got Nick Chubb from the Browns. We got Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry should have came up before Nick Chubb, unless they just doing it by alphabetical order. You know what I'm saying? Because Derrick Henry was a beast.
Yeah, he went
And
on a crazy run the second half.
yeah, and then we also got Mark Ingram from the Ravens. At fullback, they only got one fullback, Patrick Rickard from Baltimore Ravens. That's cheap right there. Now let's go over to something that we both love: defense. Now at defensive end, they got Joey Bosa, hands down belongs there. Frank Clark, who's going to be in the Super Bowl. Callis Campbell from the Jaguars. Melvin Ingram from the Chargers, who's pretty well. He's going to be
He's
replacing.
solid.
He's going to be replacing Bosa, as a matter of fact. Josh Allen, who's going to be replacing Clark, who's going to be in the Super Bowl. So I think they got a decent, at least a good two that they can rotate on defensive end. So the AFC, I would say, will be looking good on the pass rush. But then we go to the interior line where we have Cameron Hayward from the Steelers. It's a big guy. Chris Jones from the Chiefs. He's in the Super Bowl. Geno Atkins from the Bengals. Played pretty good. Jarrell Casey from Tennessee Titans going to be replacing Jones, but I'm not sure about Jarrell Casey from the Tennessee Titans. I never seen Tennessee Titans this year line at anywhere being that good. What you think, Noli?
Their offensive line, you said, or their defensive line?
Yeah, the defensive line for Tennessee Titans.
I mean, I thought they did. I think they did really well this year. A lot of it had to do with the coaching, I believe. Vrabel, I think, should have been mentioned on coach of the year. I think even over your boy Pete Carroll. But that's a different
Oh
story.
no,
What happened? Yeah, but I mean, what that defensive line was able to do, they were able to keep them in games. You look at what they did against in their own division, and that was key to run the ball and defend. That was their strategy, and it worked for them until
yeah,
it didn't, I
but
guess.
me from being a lineman, to have an awesome defensive line, you got to get plays in the backfield. You got to get sacks. You can't just contain the team and be a good defense. To stand out as a defensive line, there's accolades you got to get in there. But let's move to linebacker. Von Miller from the Broncos, he's locked down. T.J. Watt from the Steelers, locked down. Mac Jordan from Baltimore Raiders, he's fairly decent. So he's looking good at outside linebacker. Inside, they got Darius Leonard from the Colts. They got Donta Hightower from the Patriots. And that's the first time we mentioned the Patriot the whole time. They got Tremaine Edmonds from Buffalo Bills, who's going to replace Hightower from the Patriots, who's not even going to be there. And then we got cornerback Stephon Gilmore from the Patriots, Trey Davis White from the Ravens, Marlon from the Ravens, Joe Hayden from Pittsburgh, who's going to be replacing Peters, who is injured from injury. So there we get a Patriot to finally stand. So I guess the Patriots was really that bad, huh, Noli?
Well,
Considering they don't even got any Pro Bowlers.
Yeah, it was just their defense that was solid. That was able to keep them in the game. I thought they were going to try to rely on Sony Michel a lot more this year. They tried, but it just wasn't effective enough. And yeah, man, their offense didn't look that great, but their defense was pretty good. So maybe expected a couple more guys from the defense.
They didn't make it at safety. They got Minka Fitzpatrick from the
Oh yeah,
Steelers
that
and
guy's
Earl Thomas from the
amazing.
Ravens. They got Jamal Adams from the Jets. That's the first Jet that we mentioned as well. And I think the Jets defense played fairly well considering how bad the Jets offense was. I think it should be more of them in there, but it sure is a lot of Steelers in there, man. I don't know what that has to say about the Steelers. Maybe Big Ben just couldn't go without Big Ben.
That just shows their popularity. That's all that shows. Let's not forget
So
who
let's
votes
jump
for
on
these
over to
people.
the right. Yeah, that's why I say us cappers, we don't get too far into this kind of stuff. To me, all my life, even from a kid, and when it comes to the program, I never enjoyed the game. I like those little quarterback competitions and all that little stuff way better
Yeah,
than actually watching that game.
yeah. You watch Jarvis Landry single-handedly put his dodgeball team on his back. Did you see that? They're supposed to be playing
Nah, that happened
dodgeball.
today.
He refused to throw the ball. He just kept rolling it back to the other team. He said, "I'm just gonna catch it, and you guys are gonna lose." And he won it like that. I think it was like five
Oh
on
man,
two,
let
and
me
he
get
started
Wham in
catching it.
here.
Go ahead, bring him in here.
Yeah. Hey, that was nice though. He held it down
Seen
for him,
that?
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, I seen it.
man.
Yeah, that was nice. What's good with y'all, man? How y'all
What up?
doing, bro? Little late out
What
here. You
up?
know what I'm saying?
It's all right.
Hey,
It's
it's
all
all
right.
good, man. You know,
Right.
We won't tell
you
you what he
you
said.
you you are go-to guy in NBA, and we ain't really talk much NBA at all. But let's finish the little bit of this Pro Bowl stuff we talking about right here. Get to the NFC.
Oh, that's
He
boss stuff going
deserved
out.
that. Michael Evans. Am I in or am I out? I'm in.
You like
Nah, you straight?
halfway. Just
Looks
jump
like
in.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Keep talking, bro.
some magic. Okay, you can hear me. That's all that matter. I'm not that good looking guy anyway. But you got the Mike Evans from the Bucks, Chris Goodwin, Amari Cooper from the Cowboys, Devontae Adams from the Packers. I think they got a nice receiver core over here on offense at NFC. Can anybody disagree with that?
Yeah,
Nah,
Nobody
not at
here.
all.
definitely can't argue with those, man. Those are some real nice receivers, and Devontae Adams needs to come over to the Niners. That's what he needs to do.
Straight up,
That's
straight up,
right.
straight
That's
up.
right.
Devontae Adams is nice, man. But like you said, bro, Jarvis Landry, man, he showed his ass though, bro. He showed his ass in that shit, man. Maybe you like, damn, you know what? Those competitive juices, hopefully that transpire into the next game, the next season. You feel me? Hopefully it makes some sense. We can stop shitting on the Browns, man. But I think we're gonna be still shitting on the Browns, bro. I think we might just
so
still be
what?
shitting on the Browns, huh?
What do y'all feel about the Pro Bowl though? Because I know many times, and even we had our guy David Boston on here, and looking up some Davis Boston information. He's a Pro Bowler, and I should have got him on the show today, but who knows what he's up to? But I want to know from a
I know
player's
we're
point
talking
of
about
view,
Pro
like.
Bowls. He could definitely tell us a thing or
Yeah,
two.
he
You know
got
what
quite
I'm
a
saying?
few of them too. I want to know what's the real deal with the Pro Bowl. Can we look at the Pro Bowl, who's in it and everything, and base some of that information for next year on because especially because we don't really get a chance to really thoroughly study the linemen unless you really like watching the game or something. So do you think
Yeah.
we take Pro Bowl linemen as a
I think it
serious
means a
thing?
lot more. I think it means more to the defenders for sure. I think the offensive players, you know what I mean. It means more to the defenders. I think, but this shit is some bullshit though. If you think about it, bro, because the way they got Xavier Rose in, that shit was fucking sketch, bro. He had a trash ass beginning of the season. He probably picked it up towards the end, but at the end of the day, bro, you don't deserve to be in a fucking Pro Bowl, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. But a lot like we're going through, a lot of these players kind of decline to it to injury and all. Run through these real quick so we could talk about some basketball. Now, at
Bro.
Tyrone Armstead from the Saints, Lane Johnson from the Eagles, Zach Martin at guard from the Cowboys, Brandon Brooks. And this is just in case anybody watching that's they people and they want to make sure I give them a shout out. Brandon Streifer for the Washington Redskins, Terai Turner for the Panther, who's replacing Brooks. Center Jason Kells for the Eagle, Travis Frederick for the Cowboys. Now, tight end position, of course, Kittle, who's going to be in the Super Bowl. But on the NFC side, they get in Zach Ertz and Austin. How do you say it? Hooper or Hopper? Austin Hooper. I say
Hooper.
Hooper.
But it's Zach Ertz and Austin Hooper for Atlanta. That's a decent matchup compared to what they have on the AFC side. Now at the quarterback, they get old school multi-Pro Bowler Russell Wilson. They get old school multi-Pro Bowler Drew Brees. They get old school multi-Pro Bowler Aaron Rodgers, and they get Kirk Cousins, who's going to replace Rodgers due to injury. Now Brees and Wilson, they've been around the block for a while. You know, do you think they bring their kids and family and not really trip off the football and just come out and have fun?
This shit ain't no. Yeah, I don't think this is a big game. A big game for those type players. You know what I mean? Like you said, they got their kids around. They don't give a
Yeah,
damn.
they look at it as a
They
free
talk about all
vacation.
type of shit. They having fun. Yeah, they having
Yeah,
fun, bro.
you know,
Like I said, I think it means more to the defenders. It means a lot more to the defenders because they get a little accolade here and there to add to their resume,
yeah,
negotiate contracts. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
other than that, that's pretty much it, bro.
At running back on the NFC side, they're getting Dalvin Cook. They're getting McCaffrey. They're getting Ezekiel. They got Kamara. They got a nice little lineup at running back. They should run the ball a lot.
McCaffrey's a monster.
Man, McCaffrey.
Bro, big deal. Hey,
How
but
you gonna?
you know what? I'm thinking he might be a fantasy bust next year, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to gamble with the fantasy
I don't know.
negligence as well, bro. He been on point so long.
That dude's the real
Sometimes
deal.
you
That
know
dude's the
how it
real
is when you when
deal.
you when you draft somebody number one overall, they fuck around and fuck you and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say if you would say fantasy bus, I would have to lean on Ezekiel being a fantasy bus because I think that
Mhm.
the linebackers and stuff they just catching up to his
He was
style.
already a bust this year. You could say he was a bust this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit.
But yeah, Ezekiel Evans is definitely not one to be high in the fantasy rankings for next year.
I'm probably hella negative, man. I lost all my damn plays today in
you must have
basketball,
had
bro.
Ezekiel
I'm
on your
hella annoyed.
team.
Nah, I didn't either, bro. I knew better. I knew better than that. I knew better than that. Nah, you know what I did this year that was kind of a real sketch in fantasy. I fucked around and did the running backs like towards the end of the draft. I just wanted
Uh,
to pick up sleepers. Big Ragu, what it do? What it do?
Boom shakalaka.
What it do? What it do?
The Don.
That die.
Uh-oh. Let me give a quick shout out in the chat real quick. Robbie Tagaloa just hopped in here. That's
My
one of our
guy.
guys.
What
Yeah,
up,
Alex
guys?
yeah.
Ramirez, Joe Jones, bunch of them. I ain't even went on Twitch to see who was on Twitch with us. But thank everybody for showing up. The big Ragu is in the building. How you feeling
Big
today, Ragu?
Ragu.
Oh, he must can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, can you hear him?
He
Big
don't
Ragu,
want
he
to
said,
talk
what's
to
up?
you.
Yeah, Big
Hang
Ragu.
on, brother. I was getting double feedback. I got you now.
Oh, cool. All right. What's up with you, Robbie? What's good with you, bro? My dude, man. We gotta link up with Robbie, bro. He close by, man. You know what I'm saying? He right here by us. You know what I'm saying? Noli, DJ Big
Yep.
Boss.
In the
We gotta
OC.
link up, bro. Well, let's
He in
slide through,
the
brother.
what we call the Lemon County.
Hey, I'll be over there. I'll be out there. Yeah,
we far past due for low bag LA.
for sure.
Coming up in February is going to be the low bag LA
March
1 year
Madness.
anniversary. There you go. It's going to be our 1 year anniversary with the low bag LA. I think it was February 16th or something last year. We did the low bag LA. I had to go look it up, but yeah, we're going to be on the annual low bag. We're going to have to at least link up for that day. You good, Big Ragu?
Big
Good
Ragu in
evening,
there
guys.
live. What
Good,
it
good.
do?
I was enjoying the conversation. I still got stupid internet problems with this freaking thing, but all good, man. I'm checking out y'all's conversation, enjoying it, having fun. So,
Oh
how we
yeah,
doing,
Yeah.
man. You know
Ramo?
it's the lounge.
Noli
Man,
knows, making unders great as again as usual. Never, you don't have to make them great; they're already great, man.
they
You keep
already
doing your
great,
Hey,
thing.
just
man.
trying to
Hey,
spread the word, you know.
I appreciate look, man. Noli done saved me so many times, man. I want to appreciate Noli so much, man. Appreciate Big Ragu,
Thank
DJ
you.
Big Boss. I appreciate y'all, man. It takes a village. I definitely said that on the last one I'm talking. It takes a village. I fucking lost
You're
damn near
killing
every
it, man.
play.
You're
I've been
destroying
killing it. I've been
basketball.
killing. I'm still up. I'm still up.
Yeah.
I'm still got some money in my
Don't
pocket,
cool
but
down, man. Stay hot.
I'm
Stay hot.
fucked. I got fucked over today, man. I got fucked over today, but we're gonna keep it cracking, man. We just gotta
That's one day, man. That's
double
one little
down, man.
spoke in the wheel, man. There's 100, there's 364 more spokes in that wheel, brother. So keep riding
Cheers,
that.
cheers to
Keep
you,
riding.
bro. Just
Hey,
Hey,
appreciate that.
what were you
give
guys
it, give it,
talking
give
Appreciate
about?
them
that.
give them a bar of that NBA, Graham. Let them know what's up. Some trends, some. You went on that 13-2 tear, man. You gotta, I know you got some trends or something that you on right now.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? Actually, right now, I've been on. I fucking got my ass handed to me today, so I'm fucking kind of shot confidently wise. But y'all kind of building me back up. I appreciate y'all, man. Real talk, real talk. But as far as trends, bro, you want to fade some of these weak ass teams. That's pretty much it.
So,
Look at
uh,
Minnesota right now. Minnesota going against Houston weak ass. If you took fucking Minnesota today, I heard a lot of people talking about that. Look like they jumped right on Houston ass. That's a good fucking look. And I mean, how you guys feel about Zion, man? This is our first show since Zion, spread his blessings on the court. He did his thing in the fourth quarter. I didn't get to watch the fucking game. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I did. I didn't get to watch the fucking game, but I watched the
I
highlights.
got a
I
chance to watch.
watched that fourth quarter, and it looked amazing.
He
It
do
looked
his thing.
amazing.
What about his player props for the past two games? Did the majority of them go on the over or the underside?
Oh, you know what? I haven't been noticing his player props.
No.
I wasn't looking that deep into it. I didn't even bet these games because just like you did Ragu against them the first game with the money line with the Spurs. That was a great look because once he come in, that shit could fuck up the whole lineup. So I didn't want to touch the game, the props. I didn't look at shit. So I probably should have noticed it. That's what I should have did. See, there goes another gym right there, hanging out with the OG Ragu, giving you a gym right there. Even if you ain't playing it, watch the damn line on it. You know what I'm saying? Even if you
Yeah.
ain't playing it.
That's all right, man. It's like I
Hey,
say, we talked about it last night. There's going to be plenty of more opportunities what's in front of us. So we just keep rolling,
Straight
like
up,
you say.
straight up.
I got to give a big shout out to my guy Juan in the chat, man. I told him I'd give him a shout out if he. But I don't want to get off of NBA. I want to go right back.
Talk to my guy Noli. Noli, man, you been doing your thing, bro. We always cutting you off anyway, bro. Sometimes you just gotta go off on
Um,
that. And hey, man, you been on the heater,
No,
doing your thing,
I was just
bro.
gonna say something about with Zion. He looks like he's already going both. He's going over his points and the rebounds. He's got 5 rebounds right now. I think it was set at like
Mm,
6.5, and the points I believe was
mm,
like 13.5. And a
see,
lot of guys were scared to take that over today because what he did last time was kind of out of his element, hitting all those threes and that
right.
spurt. It's not really who he is. But he was a lot more comfortable. He has to be a lot more comfortable. He's been waiting to play for how long? He said he wasn't going to be able to sleep. But I mean, that's not my forte. I just put my 2 cents in right there. But I mean, I wouldn't know how to cap that. But I'm watching as a fan because he's fun to watch, man.
What
Most
about
But
medically
definitely.
speaking with the doctors? Like, isn't he on some type of? We know he's on restriction more or less.
Yeah,
That's
they don't let him
Yeah,
run more than like 4 minutes out there.
yeah.
Once they
So the
see him
right.
huffing
doctors
and
have pretty
puffing,
much got him on lockdown. You know what I
well,
mean?
I mean, you
So
can see he's not in game shape yet. Watching him, he's not. But you can't expect anything different. He's a big boy, and he
yeah.
hasn't played for a while. So, I think it's right to be cautious. That's the face of your franchise right now.
what I
Right.
thought about, what I thought was funny about the situation is the little 4 minutes he was in the fourth quarter, and he started getting hot shooting the threes. The rest of the team was like, "Oh, here we go." They did everything they did to keep feeding him. Come on, do it again.
Right.
He get it,
Hey,
and he go after it again.
a couple of times, Ball would pass it to him. Zion would pass it back, and Ball would just pass it right back to him. Like he was like, "No, you take it." like, I did notice that. Yeah, they were trying to feed him, but that's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do. No matter the age, if they're high, you got to ride the hot hand in the NBA, basketball.
Especially if they
Period.
got a matchup. This motherfucker got matchup problems all over the
Oh,
floor. So
yep.
hell yeah, keep that shit going, brother. Get the motherfucking ball. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah.
Hey, but I was gonna mention too about college basketball about Evansville. Evansville had a coaching change just in the middle of the season. Just I overnight almost got rid of the guy, put the other guy in, played the game the next game, and got stumped by Drake. So if you want to look at the beginning of a trend, you might want to look at fading Evansville going this. You got to watch. I'm pretty sure the line makers took a minute to look at that, so they probably
Mm,
will adjust. But
most definitely.
Evansville, keep that in your
Yeah,
mind.
they had
Evansville,
like one big win, and then they lost like 7, 8 games in a row or something like that. They were
yeah,
way
that's why they
over.
crapped the coach.
Yeah, they didn't put. I know the handicappers didn't put a lot of value into that. I mean, it was a big upset win. I don't remember the game, but I know they went on a real bad. They weren't good going into that game, anyways. They just played. All the stars lined up from that game. Then I guess that was their one game that they had, and then they lost, like I said, 7, 8 in a row, and then out the coach went.
Well, there's a lot of there's some sexual misconduct allegations going on with the coach, and that was a big reason they got rid of him.
Oh wow, that too, huh?
Yeah, that's why. And he's trying to say he's saying he's very surprised, but I mean it's been going on for a while, and there was another report that came out, I believe on the day before, and that's the reason they got ended up just cutting ties. A lot of
Yeah.
negativity
See,
surrounding him.
Yeah, gotta
not
get him
only
rid
does
of
he
him.
cap,
Yeah.
he investigates too. He's a great investigator. Okay, he
Look
got
at
down
this
to the
shit.
bottom
You know what I'm
line.
saying? So
Did you
modest
did
as
you
well,
dust for
bro.
Prince?
Noli got the shit, man. Noli knows,
Hey,
bro. Noli
you gotta
knows.
look.
Y'all better know.
I gotta
That's
look
what
for the
that's
angles
his
wherever you
name.
find it.
Nobody knows. He ain't lying.
He ain't lying. Noli knows, bro.
Nah, man. I mean, that's a team that I've been betting. I know their team pretty well, and I was kind of surprised they held on to him for this long, especially this
Mhm.
day and age.
Right,
Any allegations, anything comes up, people are
You
trying to
out of
cut
there.
ties right away.
right.
So yeah, it was a surprise, but yeah, I jumped on Drake as well. But honestly, to be honest, I think Drake would have beat him with or without him. Drake is the better team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I like that. But Wham, you spoke about a
What's it
few
do?
NBA teams that are doing bad. Give us two fade teams in the NBA.
Two fade teams in the NBA. That's a great question. I would say you want to fade possibly Sacramento. Sacramento is fucking trash, bro. Luke Walton is trash. They were looking like they possibly, make it, maybe trying to turn a corner, but they traded a lot of their players, getting rid of Ariza, so they don't give a fuck. You do want to watch out for Buddy Hield though. He is like second at 3 pointers,
Did
right
they bench him
underneath
today?
James. I'm not sure. I didn't even watch the I didn't even
I
watch
think
the
they did.
games. I haven't watched the game. But they're up right now against Chicago. But that would have been the team that I've like the fade in the beginning, but I mean in the front. But to be G with you, bro, you know what I mean. It's your usual ones. You didn't want to fade. You don't want to fade. You wouldn't want to fade the Knicks today. The Knicks fucking looking like they're about to cover the spread. They're at 8.5. So you just gotta find your spots. I like to look at a lot of the teams that's playing, multiple games in a week. Looking at teams that's trending down in shooting percentage. Teams that's giving up a lot of rebounds, making a lot of turnovers. That's probably have a bad coach. You know what I'm saying? Not going to have the right calls coming out of timeouts, shit like that. So you know, teams like the reason why I've been betting fucking Dwayne Casey as because I don't like their personnel, but he's great after the timeout. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to give him a slight edge against certain teams. So I've been fucking up doing certain things like that. So I'm just trying to make a little adjustments here and there. So I might be a little bit side by, making
That's
anything
right.
make anything right now. I'm trying to make certain adjustments, get my shit back together, get the sea legs back together, bro.
Well,
We go on
I
another
think
run.
Wham talking trash, all the trash teams. I like the way you speak of them trash teams.
When's
What's
the
up,
All Star
Ragudo?
game?
Man, what you got to tell the people?
Man, I'm just listening to the basketball experts. I'm just, I'm just sitting here listening.
Oh,
I'll chime in
you
once in a
the
while. What about the NBA All Star game? When is that? Wham? How many more games we got left before they
We
hit the
got
All
yeah,
Star
we
break?
just got about 2 weeks. We got 2.5 weeks, just about, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
before the NBA start to like really kick up. We got the trade deadline coming up as well, which is gonna be exciting. Seeing a lot of people getting traded.
What do you think about the
Um,
Jazz coming up for the second half? You think they take a stab at it, Utah Jazz, in the second half?
so So I think the
They've been
Jazz
hot
Jazz
lately,
is
right?
one of the interesting. Yeah, the Jazz is an interesting team. You know, they made an acquisition to get Jordan Clarkson, made a jump ever since then. Prior to that, they actually were struggling. You know, trying to implement Conley into the lineup. So I'm looking for him to come in. He's been coming off the bench lately. I'm not sure if he was starting today, but he actually they didn't play today, but I'm not sure if he's going to start in the future. Right now, he's been coming off the bench, so I'm looking to see what they do as far as Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz is one of those interesting teams. They could possibly try to go for the second seed. You know, you're looking for Denver, you're looking for the Clippers, you know, or possibly, you know, even the Lakers slipping up and giving away the one seed. You never know what could happen. So, um, you said, Wham, do you do more plays for halves or full games? It depends, bro. Like I like to do a lot of first half live bets because you can see that shit kind of clear up, you know what I'm saying? A little bit and before they cut that line off. So I lean you there on the first half lines. But other than that, bro, I try to play a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I fuck around and take a first half. I should have bet the full game. Sometimes I, you know what I mean, had the first quarter, should have had the first half. So sometimes, you know, you just got to figure out where your edges are. Today was definitely one of those games I should have really looked all the way deeper into the fucking pairs with the Bucks. They came out soft, not really ready to play, bullshitting around. And then it looked like it was some bullshit towards the end. They didn't want to cover the last half, like they knew what they was doing. So it was some bullshit all the way around, and you could see, you know, Michael Jordan in the top looking like he probably had some money on the shit. So I'm like, I'm a little irritated with that shit. I was on the other side of Michael
So it was the
Jordan.
Bulls
Fuck,
and the Bucks
fuck, you know
tonight.
what I'm saying? Yeah, it was no, it wasn't the Bulls. It was his team, the fucking Hornets.
Oh,
And I should,
Charlotte.
yeah, and I should have really looked in way more into Charlotte, like I should have. You know what I mean? Not knowing Michael Jordan was excited about this game. This was when you know, there was a having cigars and said, "We're gonna let you win in Paris. Don't worry, Mike." You know what I'm saying? I fucked around and had that damn game. You feel me? But it's
Yeah.
all good. We're gonna get to it.
And so
hey, but
how many game stretch was that for Milwaukee? And they're on the road, right, in Charlotte. So how
Right, and
many
they
how,
actually,
how many
they
are they on
yeah,
the road series right now?
the Charlotte right
Bucks.
now, I believe they yeah, the Bucks not the Charlotte Hornets. I believe they were on a what the really edged me onto that game, if I may say, it was because they just played not too long ago, and the Bucks they haven't played since fucking Sunday, since fucking Friday.
Oh
Bucks
wow.
haven't played since Sunday, yeah, and they already been in fucking pairs. But that's the thing, they've been in fucking pairs, hanging out.
Oh, that's
Michael
right. They're in
Jordan,
Paris. Yeah.
right? Michael Jordan
God
got these
damn, they got to
guys
go all the way
ready.
to Paris to play NBA basketball now. Shit.
Well, this was one of the first times they ever played out there, so that's why it was one of those things that you seen. You know, you're supposed to see Giannis go ahead and do his thing, get his triple double, have a nice game. That's how I came in here, but I don't really want to dwell in on it. I knew I was gonna come here and talk about this shit. I was like, fuck, I don't want to come in here and talk about my losses like that, but I learned something. So you know what I mean. You learn something, you move
Every day.
forward. That's exactly what we do. We come in here with an empty cup, and we try to get my man Ragu to fill it up. You know what I'm saying? DJ Big Boss to fill it up, and have my man Noli with all his great information fill this shit up. You know what I'm saying?
hey, I didn't we're getting close on time. Time is just flying by when you're having fun. But
Right.
I did tell Noli before we even started the show, we was gonna give up a little MLB insight, stuff going on. I thought our guy Dom Rici was gonna come in there too. Light is coming around the corner for the MLB. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be on the show with Dom. For the most part. And these guys do MLB well. So Noli,
Just
we're
before,
fatted
just,
with some MLB
I'm not trying to cut
information.
Noli off like we usually do, but I don't want to. I did this shit last time. I did this shit last time, and we was talking about fade teams. Definitely, Golden State is a fucking fade team. Steph Curry is on the internet talking shit about his own team. Come on, man. Golden State is definitely a fade team. They playing Indiana right now. If you look in there, I'll definitely lean fading Golden State. But go ahead, Noli. My apologies, bro.
Nah, there's a lot of things to talk about in MLB. Anything specific? I don't want to.
Anything outside of the cheating thing that's coming
No
up, maybe
cheating.
some of those manager changes and
No
stuff like
cheating.
that.
Okay, yeah,
No
because I
cheating,
got a
man.
whole lot to
And
say
and,
about
and,
that.
and let the people
Don't
know
get
if
me
you know
started.
when is the spring games getting ready to start, because before we know it, we're gonna be right back in baseball.
Yeah, pitchers and catchers, I believe, are reporting in 2 weeks. Everything is coming up real close, and it's tough to see. You got Boston and Houston without a coach still. Outside of the cheating stuff, they still don't have a coach. And you look at what the Mets did; they got rid of their coach as well, but they instantly hired a guy that they already gone through the process, and a guy that I feel that they should have hired from the beginning. I read a quote from a guy, Joel Sherman. He says Rojas is just 38, but has a pedigree like managers once had, and that's Creed Testament. It's like they're trying to bring in all these fresh guys like Aaron Boone, Alex Cora, guys that never managed before. But Rojas has. He's come up from the minors. His first job in the minors was shuttling guys from the facility to the game. So the guy started from the bottom. Now he's here, and I'm real excited for him, man. I'm real excited for
That's what's
him and
up.
the organization. I thought that was the right move. The big thing in baseball right now is that I expect a lot of trades to be made. There you got Lindor on the trading block. You got Arenado on the trading block. You got Chris Bryant on the trading block. Arenado came out and made some comments about Colorado. They were supposed to make a long-term investment in him and the team, and he feels that he's been disrespected. He came out and said that about the general manager, and from what I'm hearing is that they're going to have to part ways. Somebody has to go, and more than likely it's going to be Arenado. He wants to come to LA. He's from Southern California, but I don't think they're going to allow that to happen. Being in the same division, I'm wondering where he might go, man. That's one of the best third basemen, if not the best third baseman in the game, both offensively and defensively. Um, there's a lot of big changes around. You got the Angels trying to stack up. You got the White Sox trying to stack up. There's a lot of big changes. Angels, as much as they've done, I'm still upset. They got the coach I wanted and the player I wanted. I love Madden. Madden's a great coach. Gets his team to play. He creates a great environment with his guys. He's got them dressing up in costumes on away games. Nobody does that. It's just to keep it
Right.
light, and I love that. And then they got Rendon over there at third. But to me, I think that was a mistake for the Angels, being that they never address their issues pitching, both starting pitching and their bullpen. And it's the same story for years. Ever since Moreno took over that team, it's been the same thing. But we'll see. I mean, with that team, I'm probably going to be looking to bet a lot of overs with them, to be honest.
Mm. With the
Then,
Angels. Yeah,
yeah, on the
you
Angels.
heard it first. You heard it first. Noli knows giving y'all the coldest breakdowns right now. He's talking about overs. This
Right.
guy's
So
making
he's
unders great
serious
again.
about that one. If he's
When
talking
you hear
over,
him say an
that's real
over,
serious.
he's
Well,
going
yeah,
against everything he wants.
that offense is no joke. Otani, Trout, and Rendon, that's deadly, man. That is
Right,
deadly.
right. That's true. That's true. That's
Now,
true. And plus, they don't have a fucking pitching, like you said.
That's the main thing, man. You
before we
can't
get out
pitch,
of
you
here
can't
too,
win.
though,
Go ahead.
we only got about 6 minutes left.
Yeah, we don't want to get cussed out this time.
But
That was
Big
fun.
Ragu,
It was though. It was.
He's frozen.
Big
Yeah,
Red
he
Goo,
frozen.
man. We got a big race coming up, and I know you're the man. You're the man with the
Oh,
ponies.
oh yeah, you
See
want to
if we
talk
could
about
get
the
a little
races?
bit of, we can pick your
Yeah,
brain a little bit. See if we can
Right.
yeah.
get out of you.
We'll talk. We'll talk in two races at in Gulfstream Park tomorrow. The whole card is loaded. Nothing but top horses running tomorrow. But the two big races, the big races of Pegasus Cup, and it's kind of watered down because Omaha Beach scratched. A lot of the top tier talent is going to Dubai too. So between Omaha Beach scratching and I had a couple other scratches, but for my money tomorrow, I like this horse named Tax. I bet him along the Derby trial races last year a little bit. Jimmy and I bet him in the summer. You know, I had in the fall we made a little bit of money with him. He's
Mm,
probably going to be he was an 8-1 currently. I guess they made the odds adjustment. Omaha Beach was actually even money. He scratched. So um, in this particular race, I'm not gonna get involved with a win place. I'm just gonna try some exotics here, guys. So I'm gonna take like maybe $30 or $50 somewhere in that along and take. I'm gonna take the number 2 tax, and I'm gonna play him with 3 long shots underneath and on top. So
mm.
we'll take tax. You can bet him to win in place if you want. You know, put 10, win 10 place. I don't know what the odds are because I'm looking at the odds before they scratch. It was 8-1, but
Okay.
I'm sure he's going to go off shorter than that. So I'm going to go 2 tax on top, and I'm going to take Bodie Express. Okay, and he's being rid by Eduardo Jaramillo. He's a local jockey down there, and he's the 12 horse. And we're going to take War Story, Joe Rosario at 30-1 morning line. Okay, and then a horse I like, Mr. Freeze. I like that horse. He's going to come at the end. Louis Saiz. You know, Louis Saiz is a horse. He's a jockey that rode Maxim Security. So
Okay.
and he knows Gulfstream really well. He's a top jock down there when he's running. So and I'm staying off of Tyler Gaffaloni, the tenfold. I'm off of him. A lot of people were thinking about him, but he's a horse that never kind of lived up to his billing. And a really nice horse actually is the number 4, Seeking the Soul, older horse. You know, he might show up. He's 6. He's an older horse. We bet him last year. We had him in the Dubai race. You know, that he was part of our gimmick out there when we were in Dubai for March Madness last year, and he
Oh, that
hit the
was fun.
board. But anyways, so we're on the 2 with the 7, 8, 12, 2, 7, 8, 12. First and second with the 2, and 7, 8, 12 underneath. Okay, I'm
All
gonna
right.
play that for that should cost you $6 in each position. So if you want to play it for $24, you can play it $2 one way and $2 the other way. So if it hits, you get a full trifecta out of it. So it ought to pay halfway decent. And then in the turf race, it's called the Pegasus, and that's, by the way, that's race number 12 in that race. That's the 12th race. That's the big race. 2, 7, 8, 12, and then in the race before that is a turf race, and without a doubt, I mean, there's no question in my mind in this race, a horse is called Without Parole. He's trained by Chad Brown. He's coming over from Great Britain, and I think he wins this race going away. Morning line 4-1. That's a wide open field, but I think there's 13 horses in the race, and a lot of them are all real nice horses. But I think he's much the best. This horse here, without Parole, the number 3 horse. I think he gets the job done. I'm going to put some good money on him on the win place, and then I'm going to throw some long shots with him just in case he's caught. I think it's the 12 Magic Wand. He's got she's got a good shot there, and I'm going to take the 2 Kitten's Joy horses. Henley's Joy, the number 8, and the number 4 Sadler's Joy. So I like Kitten's Joy horses on the turf. They usually run really well, and Javier Castellano is on the 4, and on we got 2 Irish jockeys on the 2 favorites. The 3 Without Pros got Dettori, and the 12 has got Moore. They're out of 8. They're both Aiden O'Brien. Or Chad Brown's the 3, and Aiden O'Brien's the 12. So that's what I might look. I would do a 312 exacta box for like $20, and then I put the money on the nose with the 3 in race 12, and then I take a 3, 4, 8, 12 trifecta box, maybe for like 50 cents or $1. It'd be $12, $12 to $24. So I'm gonna best probably maybe like $60 to $80 that race. So
Nice.
$100 bankroll, bet 2 races. That's it. Bet a $2 trifecta in the big race, and in the turf race, I'm gonna bet like $60, $60 to $70, and the other race I'll probably bet $30. So there it is.
And you better listen to Big Ragu, man. I've seen him myself. He taught me well, man. So the Big Ragu don't play, bro, when it comes to these breeds, man.
Stone Cold Exacta in that turf race, the 312 for sure. I like that a lot. Put the
Hey,
money on and then put the 12 underneath. So bet it straight. Bet it 312 Exacta straight. Don't box it. Bet it straight 312 and bet three to win in place. And then that's all. You'll make money for the day if you do that.
there you go. You heard it first right here on the Boss. Well, this ain't the Boss and the Soft Show. This is the Who-Bangin Sports Lounge Live, man. It's all good though. Hey, Noli, it sounds good, man. You want to meet up at the track sometime tomorrow?
All I know is I'm jumping on that win place, that without parole. That one checked all the boxes. You know how I do it,
What?
DJ.
Let's go, man.
You know how I do
Hey,
it.
Los Alamitos, 1:00, bro. 1:00.
1:00.
If you don't win, I'm calling your probation officer tomorrow.
Hey, but we went over 1 minute. We haven't got we buffering on for some reason on Twitch, so I haven't seen too gangbanging on Twitch.
Not yet. Not yet.
Man, they on our ass last year, man. They found us on Twitter.
Yeah, that hook's gonna come out of the side of the window there and they're gonna pull you away.
Oh, it's all good. We got off of their server for now. I came in straight from work and got right to it. So I'm gonna do some.
Oh shit.
He frozen up. See, I told you, they got him already.
They got him. They got him. They got the
They
man.
got you. They got you, bro.
They got me, man. And shout out to everybody in the chat, man.
Yeah, shout out to everybody though.
Virgirl, Robbie Tegaloa.
Y'all know who y'all are. All love, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Throwing it up, doing what y'all do, man. Big Ragu, man, you should hold it down, man, because Boss, man, he just got off work, man. They working him too hard out here, man. They working his internet. They working it
He's
off.
wearing everything out. He's blowing it up out there. That's what it is. He's taking
It's
everybody
all good, man.
Hey, last year this time I was at the Pro Bowl at the festivities last Saturday. It was a lot of fun. I mean, they came back to Orlando this year, and funny thing was when we went down there, we kind of knew that the Pro Bowl was coming in, but my wife, for Christmas, they gave her like a little gift package for like a 2-night stay in Disney, down at
cool.
it's called Bonnet Creek. Well, it just so happens the weekend we chose to go there was the Pro Bowl, and then we wound up staying in the same hotel. It was a real nice place. Same hotel as the players was. That was pretty crazy. Security everywhere. Yeah, last year I met Dak Prescott, Willie McGinnis. I talked to him for a little while. At the bar, he had a drink with him. He was cool. And then
hey, wait, time out. Willie McGinnis is from the Long Beach Pollies. We know that guy well, huh, Noli?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
I ain't trying to be funny about it, but that's a good looking dude right there. He carries himself well spoken, super nice guy, and he's an expat. I didn't hold it against. I can't hold it against you because you're an expat, and I know I'm a big time giant, but that's okay. We still love you, Willie. But real nice guy there, and a lot of those players, they're out there doing their thing with the kids on the day before. It's a lot of fun to watch these guys. Right. These kids out there, and they do the drills and everything. So if you ever get a chance to do that, with some of your kids or, family members or whatever, I highly suggest it when the Pro Bowl comes out to Cali, you need to go check out the festivities before the game. Yeah. But yeah, last year I was down there just by chance, and it just happened to work out. So it was meant to be, and it was a great experience. They took us on a little private thing, and yeah, it's like an NFL experience. I don't know if you've ever been to, when they do a Super Bowl, it's kind of like that same atmosphere. They have all the fanfare stuff, and kids can autographs, can throw balls.
It's gonna be a Super Bowl out here too. It's fucking going. All type of shit gonna be out here.
Oh, yeah. Hey, only a top rate.
Damn, only a top rate. That's all I got, y'all.
Only this guy, man. That's why I love it, man. This guy is top of the line, classy guy. Don't get no better than my guy Big Ragu, man.
Most definitely.
You gotta live life, man, because you only get one shot at it. So any chance you get a chance to do something, go do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it.
Absolutely, man. That's right. Well, let's get out of here, fellas, man. I'm gonna go ahead and do what I gotta do. I appreciate everybody showing up. I roll up out of here, man. Y'all have a great night, a great weekend, and cash them tickets. See you at the window.
At the window. Get that horse race
Boss in
tomorrow.
the Sauce
And
Show.
get some NBA plays and get ready for baseball.
Boss in the Sauce Show.